Once there was a man who had 2 sons. The first son was hard-working. He always obeyed his father, but the second son was the complete opposite. He was lazy. He didn't want to work in the field. He was disobedient to his father. He wanted to just have fun. One day the younger son said to his father, "What will happen to all your land and money after you die?" "They'll be divided between you and your brother," the father said. "I don't want to wait for that. Give me my share now." The father felt very sad, but he agreed. He divided the property. The second son took his share. He took all the money and traveled to a faraway country. There he made a lot of friends. With his pockets full of money, the son went wild. He bought expensive clothes and fancy food. He partied and got drunk with his new friends who followed him everywhere. He spent his money on pretty girls. And pretty soon, he had nothing left. Just like that, those fun, crazy friends disappeared from his life. Those pretty girls wanted nothing to do with him. At that time, there was a famine in the land. The rain meant no water. No water meant no grass or food. Things got worse and worse in that land. The son couldn't find any job. He was forced to take up an awful job, feeding pigs. He didn't get paid much and soon found himself hungry. One day, as he was feeding the hogs, he looked down at the apple cores and the moldy bread and the brown bananas. He was so hungry, he was tempted to steal the pigs' food. He said to himself, "What's wrong with me? Back at my dad's house, his servants had plenty of food. They treated me much better than I am here. I know that Dad would never take me back as a son, but maybe he'll hire me as a servant." So he decided to go back to his father's house. In the meantime, his father was always thinking about his second son. He would sit near the window. He'd look down the road hoping that his son would come back. One day, the father saw a figure far off in the distance. It was his son. He ran out of his house with great joy. He met his son on the way. The son knelt down. He said, "Father, I'm not fit to be your son. Take me as your servant." His father lifted his son to his feet. He hugged him and turned to his servants. He said, "Bring the best robe. Put it on my son. Put a ring on his finger and shoes on his feet. Kill the fatted calf. Prepare a feast. Let us eat and enjoy." The elder son was returning from his work. He heard the sound of music and dancing from his house. He asked one of the servants about it. His servant told him, "Your brother has come. Your father is rejoicing at his return. A fatted calf has been killed to prepare for a delicious feast and the celebration." The first son was angry. He refused to join the party. His father came out and begged him to come in and join. The elder son said, "I have obeyed you all these years. I've done all your work, but you have never given me even a baby goat to enjoy with my friends. This son wasted all your money and property, and you order a fatted calf for him?" His father said, "My dear son, you are always with me. Everything I own is yours. Your younger brother was dead. Now he is alive. He was lost. Now he is found. Therefore, should we not rejoice?"